After a few weeks on the weather roller coaster that we just went through, it is finally feeling like summer. So it's time to get planting and planning, which is why we have Jennifer Miller and Aaron Bird, who we love, from the Denver Botanic Gardens. They stopped by with Coco here, thank you, with some suggestions, which we all need. So Jennifer, let's start with gardening. What are some things we can do to set up our summer garden for success?
So there are 5 things I would say you should do right now.
Okay.
The first thing, if you haven't already put mulch down, let's get that mulch down.
Mulch
2 to
it.
3 inches of mulch, whether it's wood bark, whether it's wood, arborist wood mulch, or fine pebbles. Generally, we want to go smaller.
Nice.
Because the water will infiltrate the soil much better.
Got it.
The second thing is weeding. I know it's kind of an obvious one, but it's really important. They're fierce competitors for water.
Yeah.
And they tend to be more efficient than our perennials in getting to water.
Yeah.
And they tend to grow faster.
Got it.
So let's eliminate that competition and help our perennials thrive.
Amen.
The next one is a pruning technique that some people don't know about. And it's for your late blooming perennials, things that bloom in July or August.
Got it.
That tend to be tall, lanky, and flop over. Things like aster, tall phlox.
Like snapdragon?
Well, that's
No.
an annual,
Okay.
so I probably would go
so
for
no.
perennials. Yeah. Heleniums,
Nice.
tall sedums. It's called the Chelsea Chop because it happens about the same time as the Chelsea Flower Show.
Oh, nice.
And all you do is you shear your plant down by 1/3, and this sends out these side shoots that make the plant sturdier and flower more.
Wow.
So you don't have to stake. So
Don't be scared of
so
the
do
Chelsea
it now.
Chop. Do it now. Do it
Do it
now.
now. The other thing is staking. Stake your tomatoes now before they get too big. If you have delphiniums, those beautiful stalks are coming up. They probably haven't opened. Stake them before they do so wind doesn't blow them over.
Nice.
And then finally, deadhead. If your catmint or your salvias are done blooming, let's cut them down.
Got it.
So they send up a new round of flowers. And then if you have alliums or things that
love
reseed
alliums.
around,
Yeah.
I would recommend cutting them before they set those seeds all around.
Oh, that's good.
That'll help you not have to do that in the spring.
Okay. Catmint's great for the bees, too. I
It
always
is
see that.
wonderful
Yeah.
for bees.
And I made a little bee bath.
Oh.
With rocks so they can
very
drink.
good.
Yeah, we
Yes,
need our
very
bees,
good.
guys.
We
They're very
do.
important.
We do.
So after an unusually warm winter and then some spring snow, things started to bloom weirdly, and some of the trees are not looking so good. How can we help the trees?
Okay, so the trees have been hit hard. It was dry this winter, and then a lot of them leafed out a little early.
I saw that.
And then we got this cold,
Yeah.
and the leaves fell off. Well, trees will generally get a second flush of leaves. Sometimes they'll even get a third flush if we get a hail, for example.
Yeah, right,
again,
which you could.
Which we still could. But the thing is, when you get that second flush, they're drawing off of reserves of carbohydrates. So the leaves are going to take a while. Usually it takes, like the locust trees, for example. They seem to be really slow coming back. And it can take anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks for them to get those leaves back. But they're generally going to be a little bit smaller.
Okay.
The tree isn't going to look as robust, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Because it's doing what it can.
It's a different season.
So continue to deep water.
Yeah.
And then there are 2 things you don't want to do. Don't fertilize now.
Got it.
Because if you fertilize now, it's going to force new growth that the tree may not be able to support. And then don't cut off any live limbs. Don't go pruning. If you have dead limbs or broken limbs, that's okay.
Yes, got it.
But you don't want to make
prune
it more
live.
difficult for the tree.
Okay, very important. Aaron, for someone who hasn't been to Chatfield Farms, what can they explore there? Tell us about that.
Chatfield Farms is a 700-acre
Oh, wow.
property, so it's much bigger compared to the 24 acres at York Street. And speaking of trees, it was a former homestead in the late 1800s and just a wild space prior to that. So there are tons of mature cottonwoods and other trees. So there's lots of riparian wooded areas you can walk through. And then earlier in the history of Chatfield Farms, with the gardens, we called it the Chatfield Arboretum, because there still are some fruit trees, but it's not a great place to grow fruit. So now they're just kind of ornamental down there, but there's lots to see. It's a working farm. You can see the animals. We have lots of programs and events too.
That's great to take the whole family there. I had an arboretum. I went to Michigan at Ann Arbor, and I would sit there and pretend to write good poetry. It was the best. It was the best. Aaron, there's some fun events planned at the farms. What can we look forward to this summer?
Yeah, first up, in June, late June, we have a special event. It's touring botanical gardens around the country. It's Gabby's Doll House, which may not be on our radar.
No, yes, I've heard of
Oh, you
this.
have? Okay,
Yes, I
yeah,
have.
so it's for young,
Very popular.
young kids. I think like age 3 to 7 is kind of the key demographic. And so they are doing a botanical garden tour where it's a meet and greet with Gabby.
Wow.
And we have some activities, and so that is included with admission, but you have to buy separate tickets on our special event page.
Okay.
Because that'll reserve your meet and greet
With
time.
Gabby,
Yes.
okay. Amazing. I can't believe Gabby's going to be there. That's like
Yes.
Santa. What about the Lavender Festival? There's something
Yeah,
there?
Lavender Festival is on July 18 and 19, and that's our annual All Things Lavender celebration.
I love lavender.
And we have our massive lavender garden that seems to keep growing every year with so many different varieties. Lots of vendors that have all lavender botanical themes, from lavender infused honey to cut dried flowers to crafts, things like that, jewelry. There's live music, there's food and beverage, tour the farm, and there's also some special education classes that are themed around lavender you can add on.
I mean, now everyone's having the lavender coffee. I mean, it's
I
everywhere,
know.
right? The English, the French,
cake.
lavender cake. It's like the big new thing.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for being here, for
Yes,
teaching us,
of
educating us, and for previewing the upcoming events. Sounds amazing. For more gardening tips, y'all, and tricks, or to plan your next adventure, which I think sounds great, all you have to do is log on to botanicgardens.org. Again, it's botanicgardens.org, and you can fill your summer and even meet Gabby. That's huge. That's amazing. All right. Well.